we wrote a book and we did a Disney movie. And my third day in the big leagues, Bill Plaschke for the LA Times writes this Sunday article on the front page of the sports page in the Sunday edition. It covers the whole page. He interviewed my kids, my high school kids, people I taught with and coached with. So after Texas, we went to Anaheim to play the Angels. And after that article, my third day in the big leagues, they had to change my name in the hotel because everybody was calling about movie deals and book deals and articles and documentaries. And that needed to stop. So over those 4 days of being there, I went to different studios and had lunch with a lot of heavy hitters and listened to their versions of what they wanted to put on screen. And I thought, that is not anything I want a part of. That's not what this is about. And so when my agent Steve and I are walking across the grounds of Disney in Burbank, he looks up at me and he goes, "What is it you want?" And I said, "I want a movie about kids who everybody counts out and they overcome the odds." I said, "I also want a movie about people my age who get a second chance and are actually brave enough to go out and try it." I said, "That's what I want." And so we walk up and Eisner is the head of Disney at the time and he goes, "This is what I have in mind. I want a movie about kids who," I'm like, "They have microphones in the parking lot. They know everything." And I said pretty much exactly what I had said walking across the grounds, and I was sold. Done. And then they started telling me about everybody who wanted to play me, and that was cool. Then I met the kids who were going to play the kids I coached. But the day that Dennis Quaid signed on to play me, I met him at his house in Brentwood, and he and I played catch in his front yard. And I thought, this is a long way from a high school classroom in the middle of West Texas nowhere. And now I'm in LA playing catch with a guy who's made over 50 movies, and now he's playing me. It was all overwhelming and surreal. And it was like fast speed and slow motion. And it was just a weird time. It was like the Twilight Zone. I'm like, I was teaching 2 years ago, and now this dude's playing me in the movie. How is that possible? And, you know, but always had people to bring me back to life. I called my mom after I got back in my truck from playing catch with Dennis, and I said, "Guess where I am?" And I told her, and she goes, "You suck." I'm like, she loves Dennis Quaid. And the whole process was just fun. You know, the kids, my high school kids who could have gone nuts and gone, "Wow, that's amazing. This is cool." I give up a home run to a guy who hit under 200, and they were like, "Did they serve meals on that flight?" I mean, even my high school kids were keeping me grounded. They were happy for me, but they wanted me to be focused. And so I had the right people around me to do the things that got me to be where I was. So when you surround yourself with really good people, you have a really good chance of achieving your dreams.
In the movie, you have the part with the person that plays your dad, and then that story. Was it kind of hard to kind of have that written into the movie where it would bring up memories as you were younger, or this was a way to tell your story and the evolution of the character that played you in the movie?
It was tough, but it was way worse than that because it was a Disney movie. We showed a gruffness there, but not the extent to which things went on. And so I appreciated that. And I will tell you this, and it's funny because I felt like a moron. Brian Cox, who played my dad, finishes up his last scene for the movie, getting the baseball from Dennis, like after the game when I played. And everybody gives him a standing ovation. I'm like, "Who is that guy?" They're like, "That is Brian Cox." I'm like, and then I go home. He's like in every single movie I turn on, and he's in the Bourne movies. I'm like, oh, he's in a lot of movies. And so it was cool getting to meet people. It was rough going through things that were rough to go through as a kid. But there was enough going on to distract me to get through what we needed to get through. And so that filming was just a part of it. One of the things I was disappointed in at first was the fact that they left a lot of stuff about my grandfather out. And thought, wow, that was the person who turned me around. But it has given me the ability to use the movie during my talks to talk about exactly what he did for me as I grew up. And so now I can create my own narrative and not have a movie studio go, this is how he was and that's how he's going to be until your movie quits running. I get to build Ernest up in the way I want to. And because he and Alice meant so much to me, I get to create a beautiful story.